Hey, Viking fans, Cy Amundson here with the Vikings Entertainment Network. We are going position by position, getting you ready for the 2020 NFL Draft. I am joined right now by Ben Leber. And Ben, we are talking running backs. And I know a lot of Viking fans are thinking right now, why are we talking running backs? We're set at running back. We got the best running back in the league. We got a stud backup. But in today's NFL, Ben, there's no such thing as too much depth at the running back position. So you've identified some guys later in the draft that you like, but I assume you can't have too many talented running backs.
Yeah, when I was looking at this and I'm thinking about what the Vikings could do, for so many other positions, it's like, what do we need right now? Like, we need some help right now at cornerback. We need some help right now at offensive line. We need some help right now at defensive end. And then you look at running backs and you're like, yeah, but I don't want to think about that position because I'm pretty happy there. Like, they've done a hell of a job the last 3 or 4 years looking at these guys and drafting these guys and setting this team up for success with the running backs. But there are some talented players. Let's get this out of the way. They're not going to be obviously first round or even second round, and maybe third round. But we're looking at definitely one of the third round picks, possibly, and then into the fourth and fifth and beyond. So let's get DeAndre Swift out of the way.
The nice bounce to the outside, and there is indeed that big play. Right up the middle, Swift with a big hole, touchdown Georgia.
Swift takes it and attacks inside the 25. Swift is in, touchdown.
He's probably the most polished, NFL ready, quick, elusive, all that stuff. The running back from Georgia. I think he'll be a first round selection. And then after that, a lot of these really, really talented guys are going to fall down in the second and third round.
Dobbins just walks in. He's got it again. You can see the shimmy and the shake, and Dobbins.
Who's going to be around maybe with the second pick in the third round? I don't think it's going to be J.K. Dobbins from Ohio State, another really talented player, or even Jonathan Taylor.
They hand it off. Taylor, how about this? Jonathan Taylor! All the way into the end zone, touchdown!
There he goes. JT.
His production, he's got track speed. He's just got such a name that I think it's going to be really hard to pass up a talent like that and have him fall all the way to the second pick in the third round. But I do have a couple players that I'm looking at as well as far as late round picks.
Well, and I think specifically because you look at how much the running back position has changed in this league over the past few years and where it's heading, and look at what the 49ers did last year. You can never have enough guys that do enough different things. So one of the guys you stuck on there was Cam Akers from FSU.
Akers, he dives in for the touchdown. They get it to number 3 again. Akers, he'll score on the ground. Here's Akers, stumbled through the hole but staying on his feet. He's at the 20, trying to win a foot race to the 10, to the end zone. Touchdown, Florida State. Cam Akers from 50 yards out.
And that one is, it's a little bizarre, right? Because, Dalvin Cook, Florida State, and what did Cam do when he came in? He broke his freshman rushing record. And so that he's talented. He truly hit the ground running. I don't think that the high caliber AC was too much for him to handle as an 18-year-old. So, he really rose up to the occasion and was big football ready. I like a lot about him. He's about 5'10", just shy of 220 pounds. So he's a thick dude. He doesn't look that thick when you watch him play. I think he's got a nice build of his lower body, of his hips and butt and his thighs. So he's not like big physically up top. So I think he carries most of his weight in his lower body, and that's good. And you can see why he breaks a lot of arm tackles. He's very smooth. He's got good vision. I would say of the guys that I've already talked about, the best pass catching running back of the group. So if you want to kind of go back to depth, and it's good to have a lot of talent in the backfield, you could almost look at this guy as not necessarily an H-back, but if you end up going like pony personnel where you have 2 running backs in the backfield, this dude can be dynamic, not just with screen passes. I'm talking like out of the backfield, running real routes. He could be a matchup nightmare, and if you get him for the right value, look out, because you could have 2 Florida State running backs in the backfield just running all over you.
You're exactly right. And the thing that I noticed with him was how quickly he gets up to speed. And given the way this team wants to do things on offense, that would be a major asset.
Yeah, a major asset, because the whole league is going to more of a wide open game. They're looking for open space, and it's not so much just chug and chug on first and second down and then throw the ball third down. They want to get these guys spread out, even if you're in base offensive personnel where you can maybe have a running back and a fullback. Well, with a guy like Cam Akers, you could have 2 running backs in there on first down, and they can either run the ball or they can split these guys out. And Dalvin could be one receiver and Cam could be the other receiver. And I think that's where you can best utilize his services, because of the vision, because of the quickness, the way that he can catch the ball, and again, just run basically the whole running back route tree. He can be a dangerous weapon. And so I like the possibilities of him, not so much in between the tackles, but use him out in space.
The next guy I want to talk about, Ben, reminds me of someone that is important to both of us, because you played at K-State. I have been a long-time K-State fan, and Clyde Edwards II has a little bit of Darren Sproles to him.
Yeah, a little bit.
Edwards-Helaire dances to the outside and into the end zone. It's a 4-yard touchdown run for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Here's Edwards-Helaire with a big gain. He's down the numbers and finally tracked down from behind.
You know football. I see a tiny little powerful guy that's a beast, and I go Darren Sproles. You can tell me why they're more different than that, but just off the cuff, it reminded me of him.
I would say the one difference that I think is apparent to me is foot speed. Darren had incredible foot speed. He could pick up his feet and put them down and make full speed cuts faster than I think I've really seen in my time. I know Barry Sanders is probably number 1 on everybody's list, but Darren was unique in that way. I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire is the same sort of build at 5'7", 205 pounds ish. So he's got a similar build. I think he's a little bit more compact in the way he runs, doesn't run with as much elusiveness, but otherwise still extremely productive. I like the way he can kind of float around. I like the way that he's got good lower body strength. And the other thing that was surprising too was, he showed good maturity as a running back, and that meaning that as he goes up to the line, he's still very patient. You see some of these guys that just always want to hit the home run, and they always just want to bust through the line. But he's patient. He'll set up his blocks, and then he'll hit it. And I like that maturity. Very well coached down there at LSU. So I think he's going to be pro ready. Not a blazing fast guy. About a 4.6 40. So you're going to have to mitigate some of that stuff, and maybe his football speed in the NFL is a little bit faster than 4.6. But I like him for what he can do as far as a kick returner, a pass catcher, and a runner. Again, could be a valuable asset later in the rounds.
Well, and I think I do the opposite that everybody does. The knocks on him entice me, because this is a kid who's 5'7", and the knock on him is he might not be fast enough to play in the league, but we're still talking about him getting drafted. So imagine the amount of things that he has to do well with that stature and that speed to still be getting consideration. Those are the sort of guys that I think are going to find a way to be productive in the league.
Yeah, and I think again, you're talking about intangibles, and I too like the guys that sort of are doubted a little bit and are always told that you can't be what you dream to be because of X, Y, and Z, and they say, well, bleep you, I'm going to go and do it anyway. There's a mentality and this sense of urgency about themselves that they will do anything to prove you wrong, and I'm going to guess, based on his upbringing, based on the fact that he's had high level of success at LSU, he's not going to lose that. He's going to get in the NFL, and he's going to hear guys like me tell him that he's too small and he's too slow, and he's going to say, all right, this is no different than what I had to prove out of LSU. I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing. So I do sort of like that mental makeup from these guys that people doubt.
Absolutely. Well, Ben, even though I continue to doubt you, you continue to crush it nonstop. So obviously you share that with some of these players. You're the best, man. Thank you for joining us.
Cy, you're the best.
Yeah, you're right. Keep saying it. Viking fans, we're doing position-by-position breakdowns. You can find them on Vikings.com, and we will see you all right back here real soon.